Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, fresh off the news being broke that there's a suspect there's a manhunt out for in the PNB Rock case. There's some more developments that are happening. So one of the suspects has already been arrested. Now, if you guys remember, there was a news clip and the police chief talked about there being two suspects. There being a driver and there being the shooter. Now, the guy that they believe that shot PNB Rock and took his jewels off of him and left evidence behind and whatnot, he's on the run. There's a manhunt out for him, but the other suspect was found in Gardena, California, and was arrested on Tuesday. So it's been a stealth operation to get these two, but they couldn't get one of the suspects, and he's on the run right now. Now, another development in this might be a father-son duo. According to some reports out there, man, it seems like both of these guys share the same name, and one of them is a 17-year-old. So similar to what we've seen in the Pop Smoke case. Now, before we get to the details and read over this story, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and man, let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, man, let's talk about this new development in the PNB Rock case. Now, justice is moving swiftly. And by saying that, I mean that the cops were on this case. And it looks like based on a lot of the information that they had from the case or things that they had involving like the restaurant where PNB Rock was shot and killed, that they were able to find some suspects rather quickly, man. This only happened 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, right? And it looks like they already have some people under arrest and another person who they're looking for right now, who's the alleged shooter. Now, if you guys don't remember, the chief of police did an interview with the local news in LA and talked about the video evidence that they had in the case. But in case you forgot, let's check that out.
The death of rapper PNB Rock. I talked with LAPD Chief Michael Moore about the investigation. The rapper, whose real name is Rakim Allen, was shot and killed at Roscoe's House of Chicken and Waffles in South LA on Monday.
This primary individual who came in and just this violent act and this murder was brought there by another individual in a car. We're working with our forensics folks to really dig into the camera imaging, the evidence that was left at scene. This murder will not occur in a vacuum. There is no way in which the communities and the circles of which operate around this music and this music artist's background that the person who's responsible for this will not be known.
When will you release video? Any surveillance that you have?
Yeah, in the coming, my expectation is this week we're going to be releasing videos. We want to give our detectives time. We want to give them time to seek and identify tips and leads. The imagery, I will say this, was so great that we could identify the person. We already would have.
Now, as you heard in that report, the chief of police said that the evidence was so good that if they already knew who these guys were, they would already have them in custody. And obviously, they lived up to those words because there's a mugshot floating around now about the lone suspect that's left in the case. One of them has already been apprehended, and according to reports, it's a 17-year-old in this case as well. So I'm going to be referencing a news story that's out there, and I believe it comes from TMZ, and the headline says this. It says, 17-year-old arrested for murder. Alleged shooter's dad still wanted by cops. So they're saying that this is a father-son duo that ended up shooting and killing PNB Rock. Now, the story goes on to say this. At 8:18 a.m., law enforcement sources say that the 17-year-old son of Freddie Trone has been arrested in connection to the shooting. We're told the son was the shooter and Freddie drove the getaway car. So it sounds like the actual shooter was the son, and the guy that they're looking for drove the getaway car. Now, our sources also say the father and son duo were already in the restaurant's parking lot when PNB arrived, seemingly removing the possibility that PNB was targeted from a social media post from his girlfriend showing they were eating at Roscoe's. So they're saying that these guys were sitting in the car waiting for somebody to rob or sitting in the parking lot of that Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle. So that should clear the girlfriend and the post that she made on social media that made its rounds that had a lot of people blaming her. Now, it's still possible that they were sitting and waiting on PNB Rock in this situation, but judging by this story, they say that this should clear the girlfriend. Now, it also says, we're told after the murder, the suspects burned the getaway vehicle. So these guys thought they were smart by burning the getaway vehicle. And they're saying this father and son duo, I guess they were sitting there waiting to rob somebody anyway, or just waiting to hit a lick in some sort of way. and the dad already had the car ready as a getaway driver. Now, LAPD is naming a suspect in the murder of PNB Rock. He's still on the loose and should be considered armed and dangerous. Cops announced Wednesday morning Freddie Lee Trone is the guy detectives have fingered as the person involved in the September 12th slaying of the rapper as he sat in a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. Now, this guy, Freddie Lee Trone, or Freddie Lee Trone, I believe it's pronounced, his mugshot is everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, there is no escaping this for him. Like, he's going to get arrested. If the other guy, the 17-year-old, ain't give him up, and if that really is his son, you know what I'm saying? Both of them are going to be in jail together for a very, very long time. Now, they released a photo of Trone, but haven't yet said if he's the only person they're seeking in the case. You recall police said that there was a getaway car waiting outside the LA restaurant after PNB was shot and killed. The killer fled with several gold and diamond chains the Philly MC was wearing as he ate lunch with his girlfriend. So basically the story we already know. PNB Rock was sitting down in a restaurant, and that's when the shooter arrived in the restaurant to rob him, ended up shooting him. But in another story, they said that he took the chains and the watch off of PNB Rock's body while it's there. He took it off of him before he left the establishment. And that's when he jumped into the car and the car sped away. It was already ready as a getaway car. Now, to think that, based on what this is saying, that the person who was the shooter might have been the 17-year-old, that goes back to the thing with Pop Smoke, man, where those are some of the most ruthless dudes in LA, to be real with you, man. Because remember, in Pop Smoke's situation, only one person in that whole case was of the age 18. And I think he had just turned 18 or something like that. So right now they're looking for this Freddie Lee Trone, and there's pretty much a manhunt for him. Everybody is looking for him, and you could tell that they were on top of this case. They was like trying to make a statement with this one because there's been a lot of talk in the background. I've been hearing it myself. People just really wanting to boycott LA and stop going out there completely. Do I think that's going to stop this? If this will stop this, but at least it'll show law enforcement is serious when it comes to robbing and killing stars and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And they're serious about all cases. Let's be for real. But in this situation, the guy went into the restaurant where they already have cameras set up. So it was basically a crash dummy mission from the gate because there has been shootings at that place before. So they were already ready to videotape and give evidence of what happened. And we see that the swift arm of the law is enacted on this. But what do y'all think? Y'all tell me in the comment section. Do y'all think this is kind of weird? That there was a father-son duo possibly involved in the shooting death of PNB Rock? And how long do y'all think it'll take before they nab the second suspect? Now, with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.